Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the February 24th, 2025 City Council meeting. Brian, may I have roll call, please?
Vice Mayor Solorsino,
Here.
Councilmember Clark,
Here.
Councilmember Mayer,
Here.
Councilmember Nomura,
Here.
and Mayor Alarcon.
Here. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moving on to introductions, proclamations, and presentations. First item on our agenda is designating the month of March 2025 as Women's History Month in the city of Carpinteria. With that, I'll go ahead and open up public comment, and this is for those who, public comment will not be for the recipient who will receive the award. They'll have an opportunity in a little bit to speak. But first speaker slip is Lisa Gurovitz.
Good evening, Mayor Alarcon and council members. I am Lisa Gurovitz, co-president of the Santa Barbara Women's Political Committee. We are a nonpartisan feminist organization with many members here in Carpinteria. I want to express our sincere gratitude for your recognition of Women's History Month. This month is an opportunity to honor the trailblazing women who have shaped our history and those who continue to lead us toward a more just and equitable future. Here in Carpinteria, we are proud to support and uplift women in leadership, advocacy, and public service. We are thrilled to see 3 women on the City Council. Your recognition reinforces the importance of gender equity in our community and reminds us that the work is far from over. We celebrate the progress made, but we also recommit ourselves to breaking down barriers, amplifying women's voices, and ensuring that future generations inherit a more inclusive society. Thank you for your leadership and for standing with us in recognizing the invaluable contributions of women, past, present, and future. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Anything on Zoom, Brian?
Mayor, we have no raised hands.
Okay, seeing none, I'll bring it back to the council. If we can go ahead and read the proclamation and start with Councilmember Mayer.
Whereas March is nationally recognized as Women's History Month and
whereas the City of Carpinteria is proud to join in the nation's celebration of Women's History Month, and
whereas the Carpinteria Women's Club is dedicating the month of March 2025 to showcase diverse and comprehensive programming to educate, elevate, inspire, and celebrate the achievements, courage, and strength of women making change, to honor the women who fought to win suffrage rights for women and the bravery of women who fought for decades after to exercise their right to vote, and to support the continuing efforts of women in upholding voting and human rights for all Americans. And
whereas we recognize March 8th as International Women's Day, a global day celebrating the social, economic, cultural, and political achievements of women, and
Whereas women of every race, class, and ethnic background have made historic contributions to our nation and community in countless recorded and unrecorded ways, and
whereas women have played and continue to play critical economic, cultural, and social roles in every sphere of life by constituting a significant portion of the labor force working inside and outside the home, and
whereas women have also played a unique role throughout history by providing the majority of the volunteer labor force of the city, and
whereas women were particularly important in the establishment of early charitable, philanthropic, and cultural institutions in our cities, and
whereas women of every race, class, and ethnic background served as early leaders in the forefront of every major progressive social change movement, and
okay, I think we missed one here. Whereas women were particularly important in the establishment of early charitable, philanthropic, and cultural institutions in our city, and
whereas women have served our country courageously in the military, and
Whereas women have been leaders not only in securing their own rights of suffrage and equal opportunity, but also in the abolitionist, emancipation, labor, civil rights, and other movements, including the #MeToo and the Equal Rights Amendment efforts. And
whereas despite these contributions, the role of women in history has often been overlooked and undervalued. With that, I'd like to bring it back to the council for a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All of those in favor?
Aye.
Excellent. With that, I'll go ahead and ask Beth Cox to come up and receive the proclamation and say a few words.
Good evening. How is everyone? Thank you so much on behalf of Women Making Change of Carpinteria, and pigging on what Lisa said, we so appreciate this proclamation, and thank you so much. I'd like to invite the rest of Women Making Change and whoever would like to come up and receive the proclamation. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. I'll ask the council to step in the front. Step to the front.
Step.
Step down. You can go. Okay, me first. Go. Yeah.
Okay, look at Robin.
Okay, let me get a couple more. Somebody might have blinked.
Okay. We will now move on to the next item, which is designating Sunday, March 9th as California Arbor Day in the city of Carpinteria. I'll go ahead and open up public comment. Anything on Zoom, Brian?
Mayor, we have no raised hands.
Seeing none, we'll go ahead and bring it back to the council, and I'll ask Councilmember Mayer to start us off on the proclamation.
Whereas in 1872, the first Arbor Day was observed in Nebraska as a special day set aside for the planting of trees and to recognize the importance of trees in our daily lives. And
whereas Friday, March 7th through Friday, March 14th, 2025 have been designated as California Arbor Week. And
whereas Friday, April 25th, 2025 has been designated as National Arbor Day. And
whereas the city of Carpinteria recognizes the importance of trees in our daily lives as a source of beauty and comfort in the community by improving neighborhood appearance, creating a better living environment, affecting the weather by providing shade, heat reflection, and wind protection, and improving air quality and contributing to energy conservation. And
whereas the city of Carpinteria has established numerous policies and regulations concerning the protection of trees, including but not limited to Carpinteria Municipal Code number 12.28.80. Sorry about that, everybody. Those kind of blend together. Which establishes the Tree Advisory Board to act in an advisory capacity to the city council, city manager, and city staff in the administration of various provisions concerning street trees.
excellent, thank you. With that, I'll bring it back to the council for a motion.
So moved.
second.
We have a first and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. With that, I'll go ahead and ask for a representative to come up and receive the proclamation.
Thank you, Mayor Alarcon and council. I'm a ISA certified arborist, and I've been working with trees for 25 years now. And I consider myself a protector of trees, and I think that our whole city is doing a good job with our trees. And it having you getting it out to the public that about Arbor Day is important. Thank you.
Thank you. Great. With that, I'll ask the council to join me for a photo.
brought the tree. Can you bring a tree?
Okay, we will now move on to item number 3, which is the introduction of new employees.
Yes, Mayor, Council, community members were extremely excited to be able to introduce several people to you this evening that have all filled really important and critical roles here within the city. As we know, we have these goals and objectives, but if they're not backed by a budget and somebody that is in a chair performing that work, we don't get to where we want to go. And so we just feel like we have some incredible people that are going to help us implement your vision. And so I'm going to turn it over to Assistant City Manager Ryan Kentz to kick us off with some of those introductions.
Good evening, Mayor, Council members. Ryan Kintz, Assistant City Manager. First, before I jump into the introductions, I just want to send a special shout out and thank you to my HR team, Teresa Elisine and Javier Gutierrez, who have done a fantastic job of filling these vacancies and working really closely with the department directors to get these fine people on board with us at the City of Carpinteria. So I'm privileged to introduce you to our new management assistant, Megan Aragi. If you could come up. So Megan will be at the forefront of providing high-quality customer service to our Carpinteria residents and visitors. She will be providing essential support to our City Hall operations as well. Her key responsibilities include serving as the primary point of contact for all of our walk-ins and phone calls that come into City Hall, providing excellent prompt and courteous service, which she's already demonstrated in her few weeks here with the city. She's also going to be handling a wide range of administrative tasks, including managing appointment schedules, maintaining records and files, and then just essentially keeping our City Hall operations smoothly. She's a point of contact for all the departments. So she's going to be working across all of our different departments. And then finally, she's going to be delivering high quality and high level administrative support to both Michael and I, the city manager and assistant city manager. So with that, I'll turn it over to Megan to say a few words.
Hi, it's lovely to meet all of you, and I'm very excited and grateful to serve the City of Carpinteria. Thank you.
Thanks, Megan. Great. So next, I'm pleased to introduce our new program manager in general government, Julissa Briones, if you could come up. So Julissa comes to us from the city of Thousand Oaks, and she will oversee several of our vital key programs, including community relations and PIO, public information. She'll be overseeing our emergency management program, as well as our volunteer services. So her top responsibilities will include managing and coordinating these programs to ensure effective communication and engagement with our community, which I know is a high priority of our council. Serving as a key liaison with internal departments and external partners to enhance our public services and emergency response. And then finally, she'll be developing and implementing comprehensive emergency management programs and strategies, including preparedness, response, recovery, mitigation, the list goes on. She'll be a key part in ensuring the city is well equipped to handle emergencies. So we're thrilled to have both Megan and Julissa, and I'll turn it over to Julissa to say a couple words. Thank you.
Good evening, Council. I'm really grateful to be here and very excited to work with you all. Thank you.
Madam Mayor, council members, this is also part of the new employee introduction for Public Works Department. I'm going to ask Tiffany Smith, our Parks and Facilities Maintenance Supervisor, to introduce to you Darrell Brown, our new Parks and Facilities Attendant.
Hi, Mayor and Council. I'd like to introduce Darrell Brown. He is, if nobody knows what the Parks and Facilities Attendant is, we are going to have people there at the Vets Hall Memorial at the events to help facilitate, set up, clean up any problems that happen during the event. And Darrell comes to us very experienced. He is the current facilities coordinator at Girls Inc., and where he does events and helps with the events. So we're really glad to have him.
Nice to meet you all. I'm grateful to be here and expand my service that I'm doing to the city of Carpinteria. Thank you all very much.
Now going to bring up Nick Bobroff to do some introductions for the Community Development Department.
Good evening, Mayor Alarcon and council members. I'm excited tonight to introduce you to Mitch Perkins, our new Chief Building Inspector and Plans Examiner. Mitch comes to the city with over 30 years' experience in the construction and building trades, spending time both in the public sector, local government, as well as in the private sector. Most recently, for the last 20 years, he's operated his own firm where he operated and worked as a licensed structural engineer. And interestingly, he has some past experience working for the city as a subcontractor. So he was part of our former building plan check and inspection contract service. And so he's got some past experience working on plan checks here, doing inspections here, and we're really excited to now bring him in and have him here as a full-time city employee. And so with that, I'll introduce you to Mitch.
Thank you, Nick, for the introduction. Nice to meet you all. My background is engineering, building inspection, and fire inspection. And I really am happy to have the opportunity and work here at the city of Carpinteria. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. I'm Jeanette Gant, Parks and Recreation Community Services Department Director. I am so excited to introduce Tori Cutbirth, our new program manager. Tori comes to us with background in nonprofit work and has already hit the ground running 1 week in. I'm just so excited to have her here. She'll help me lead the department and oversee our Age Well programs, our community garden, and special projects. She's also almost as excited as I am to help me create policy and procedures for the departments that I know I've been talking to you guys about to you all for a while now, and I'm just so excited. And Tori, introduce yourself.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members. It is such an honor to join the team here at the City of Carpinteria, and I'm so excited to work with the team, work with Jeanette, and serve the city. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And that's the last one, but I'd also like to thank all the departments that had been keeping all of this work going. In the absence of these positions, that work definitely fell on some of the individuals doing those introductions, and just very appreciative of them for keeping us going during that time. So that concludes this portion.
Excellent. Thank you.
And, sorry, I'll just mention, you'll see Stephanie is on there. She's our new literacy coordinator. We're going to introduce her when we have an LBOT meeting. So Jody will come to the next LBOT meeting to introduce her.
I'll go ahead and open up public comment. Brian, do we have public comment on Zoom?
Mayor, we have none.
Okay, I'll go ahead and close public comment. And again, welcome Megan, Julissa, Tori, Mitch, Stephanie, and Darrell to the City of Carpinteria. Thank you. We'll now move on to public information reports and announcements. And I believe this evening we'll receive a report from the 1st District Supervisor's Office.
Council, staff, it's good to be here again. Just a couple items to share. Tomorrow at the Board of Supervisors meeting, we are discussing the title transfer between ExxonMobil and Sable Corporation. So I encourage you to watch, attend, voice your opinion on that because it's vital. It will be a long meeting, but our environment depends on that. And on March 18th, the cannabis ordinance is coming before the board again. So a letter from your city and the community will be important about direction about carbon scrubbers, chapter 50. So things like that is help us create the best policy with cannabis. That's what we've been fighting for a real long time. So with that, any questions for me I can help with? Any updates? Anything specific you want to know about the county? Okay.
Any questions from the council? Nope.
Good. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead and open up public comment. Seeing none. Brian, anything on Zoom?
Mayor, we have no one.
None? Okay, thank you. We'll go ahead and move on to the city manager's report.
Again, Mayor, Council, community members, this is going to be a community approach. I'm going to just make one mention and then pass off to several of our folks here to help make some of these wonderful announcements. Again, the city manager's report is just for brief updates about activities. Could be minor things related to past questions the council may had or from the community. And of course, if we wanted to talk about any of the items extensively, we could agendize those for a future meeting. I just wanted to mention what a great time both Councilmember Mayor and I had at the League of California Cities Conference, which was for mayors and council members, their academy there. It is for new and existing, but this time around it was very much geared towards the new council members, and provided a lot of great information, legal, financial, and then practical fundamentals that are essential for elected city officials. And what the League of California Cities is, it's an organization that advocates for California cities to expand and protect local control for all of us. So very grateful to them and the information that they provided. And I will now turn it over to Assistant City Manager Ryan Kins to give you an update on our recruitments.
Thank you, City Manager. So yes, as you just saw, we had a flurry of hirings, but we still have a couple in the works here. The finance manager position, the deadline to apply was ended yesterday. So we got several applicants that we're going to start reviewing here. We also have a part-time maintenance worker that is delayed at this time. We're conducting a needs assessment to see if that position is still needed. And then finally, the principal planner, we did get several quality applications that we'll be doing a pre-screening interview for those. That's it.
And I will now turn it over to our Community Development Director, Nick Bobroff.
Thank you, Michael. Just had a couple of updates for your council this evening. First off, under updates on development applications, I wanted to share that we've received a new concept application submittal for a proposed multifamily residential project at 6380 Via Real. You might recall this is the former Lagunitas Office Park site. The proposal was submitted by City Ventures Home Building, LLC, which is a residential home builder out of Orange County. They are contemplating a 93-unit townhome development project that would be a mix of 2- and 3-story units in 3- and 4-bedroom configurations. They would seek to utilize state density bonus law to receive limit from certain local zoning requirements in exchange for setting aside 12 income-restricted units. Currently, those income-restricted units would be broken down as 10 units at a moderate income level and 2 units at an above moderate income level. This application just came in the past few days, so we're still getting acquainted with it and reviewing the materials, but we are working with the applicant team to set up a date for the concept review hearing in the near future, and we will let everybody know once that date has been set. In the meantime, a copy of the concept plans and the pre-application materials are available at City Hall here if anybody wants to come in and take a look at them up at the front counter. I also wanted to let Carpinterians know that the 2025 Earthquake Brace and Bolt Grant Program is now open for Carpinteria homeowners to apply. This is a grant that would award eligible homeowners up to $3,000 to put towards a code-compliant seismic retrofit. The code specifically focused on homes built prior to, I think it's 1985. And it's intended to help secure by bolting a wood-framed house to its foundation as a very simple earthquake retrofit that would, in the case of a major earthquake, hopefully prevent a home from falling off of its foundation. And this is both for slab-on-grade construction or homes on a raised floor foundation. There's options for each. Income eligible homeowners can also apply for an additional grant for up to an additional $7,000, which could theoretically cover the entire cost of the retrofit. This is intended to be a relatively simple and cost-effective retrofit. And so this grant application window is open to Carpinteria homeowners through March 26, 2025. We're working on getting some informational materials that we can have available at City Hall, but in the meantime, we wanted to get word out there since there's only about a month left for folks to apply if they're interested. And the website is super easy. It's www.earthquakebracebolt.com.
Thank you. And I also like to mention to people, I normally don't cover every item in the city manager's report and encourage people to read that, seeing as there's only one item that is left off at this moment. I will also mention that Ryan and I attended the Cal City City Managers Conference earlier this month and received training very specific to what we do on a daily basis, but most importantly, the opportunity to network with the other city managers and assistant city managers at the conference. I think it's a great money saver and time saver when you can learn from people that have already done something ahead of you and kind of their lessons learned. So that was a great conference as well. So lastly, I'll bring up Jeanette Gant to talk about all the fun stuff going on in the city.
Thank you. Yes, I always get to report on the fun stuff. I appreciate that. So we have a new Age Well Tai Chi Together class, which will be starting Monday, March 10th at 9:30 at the Veterans Hall. And this will be led by our very own Amy, our recreation leader who helps out with the Age Well program. We also have our 50s sock hop dance this coming Saturday, March 1st in Veterans Hall as well. It's free. It's at 5 p.m. We're going to have music, fun, special guests to come wow the crowd, if you will. We are asking that people RSVP just so we can ensure we have enough space and enough food, but there is space, so if anyone's interested in attending, we encourage them to RSVP by either emailing agewell@carpinteriaca.gov or at any time they're participating in an AgeWell program, they can let Jenna, Amy, or any of our volunteers know that they're interested. And then finally, as part of the city's ongoing efforts to support the community, our community engagement librarian, Eric, recently participated in an outreach event with the Carpinteria Head Start parents. He was invited to present updated information on immigrant-related resources to a group of approximately 12 families, including 16 adults and their children, all of whom are immigrants living and working in Carpinteria. The presentation was conducted in a conversational format, fostering open and empathetic dialogue. Seated around a table, parents engaged in discussion and asked questions as Eric guided them through a resource toolkit, which was provided by the Immigrant Legal Resource Center. And I believe those are all for my updates. And also I do want to go back to the sock hop dance. I want to give a thank you to the Friendship Center and the Carpinteria Healthy Aging Hub, who is helping co-sponsor the sock hop dance. So we appreciate them and their partnership. Thanks.
And not on the city manager report, but just want to really thank Jeanette and her team for the volunteer, I'm going to get the name wrong, but appreciation type event that we had this last week. It was really great to see all of the volunteers that were there, getting to talk to them, and we just happened to stop and ask one person in particular that was instrumental in actually getting our pool built way back when, and just asking them about the history of the city, knowing that our 60th anniversary is coming up in September, and wanting to know a little bit more about some of these major projects that were achieved, and seeing their eyes light up is just really true, like lovers of the community that care and that have been invested since for a long time. And so it was just wonderful to go out there and see that, and great that we are now recognizing all of those folks in a formal fashion and bringing them all together was great. So thank you to Jeanette and her team. And now I open it up to questions from the council about any of the items in the city manager's report.
Oh yeah, I have a question for Nick. In terms of the new Lagunitas project, is that, I know the previous one was comprised, I think, entirely of rentals. Is that the same for this new version of the plan?
Through the mayor, vice mayor, Salarcino. This project is currently proposed as townhome for sale condos.
Okay. And is the density the same as the previous application?
No, it's a bit less. I think the previous apartment rental proposal was about 100, I think 159 units initially, and this one is what did I say? 91 units.
93.
93 units. So it is a little bit less dense.
Okay, thank you very much.
I have a question for Nick. In terms of this project, the 6380 Via Real multifamily residential project, will it go through the pathway of a joint conceptual review with ARB Planning and Council?
Mayor Alarcon, that's our intention. That's what we're trying to set up currently.
Great. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Any other questions? All right, seeing none, I'll go ahead and open up public comment. Seeing none, I'll go ahead. Anything on Zoom, Brian?
Mayor, we have no raised hands.
Okay, I'll go ahead and close public comment. Thank you for the report. I'll go ahead and move on to the public comment on matters not on the agenda. And first up is Michael Baker, followed by Monique Fairgood.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Michael Baker, and I have the honor of being the CEO for United Boys and Girls Clubs. I'm here tonight for two reasons. One, to promote our upcoming event on March 15th, benefiting our Carpinteria Club. It's our Best Bites, Big Futures. This is replacing what we have called for many years our Carpinteria Kids Auction. Revamped event. We're really excited about it. Hoping to get about 200 people at this event. And I do have some flyers here, if I could leave them here for folks. Also, I'm here to introduce to you your next speaker, which is actually the highest honor in Boys and Girls Club work that we have, which is between all of our clubs from Lompoc, Buellton, Solvang, Carpinteria, Goleta, and Santa Barbara. Each club nominates one child to be Youth of the Year, and they have to be between 14 and 19 years old, and they have to have been a member for at least 2 years in good standing. And there's a rigorous judging process that's done. And your very own Councilmember Nomura participated in that. This is several years that he's been participant in it. And this year, for the first time in the history of our organization, the winner for our county is from our Lompoc club, and that's Miss Monique Fairgood, who is actually also a staff member in our organization now. So I would like to introduce her to you, and she's going to give her speech about what the Boys and Girls Club means to her.
Thank you. Welcome, Monique Fairgood.
Hello, good evening, everyone. I'm Monique Fairgood. I have the honor of being the Youth of the Year for the Santa Barbara County, and I'm going to share a little bit of my experience at the club. I first started going to the club in 3rd grade at the ACES site, which is a program held at a school campus for our people to go after school. And I honestly can say that I loved it there. I saw familiar faces that were going to my school, so I wasn't really scared and anxious as I thought I was going to be, because I thought I was going to be alone, but I saw friends that were already going there. And going there, it just opened up my mind to new things, and it allowed me to try new things and do new things. And I've learned so much there, attending there, and I've learned how to respect others, how to respect myself, how to dedicate time to do things to get it done. I've learned hard work. During middle school, I was kind of antisocial, so I didn't really go during my 7th grade year. I was kind of scared, but my friends kind of opened up my mind to going 8th grade. In 8th grade year, I can honestly say I loved it there. It showed me everything that I thought it wasn't going to be. And going there in 8th grade, I just knew I was going to love it there for the rest of my life, and I knew I wanted to work there. And I learned about helping others, how to work hard for community service. They showed me ways to dedicate my time for community service, and they've opened up a place for people who don't have places to go during their time at home, and people who have parents that are working and they can't go home. The relationships that I have built there, they taught me a lot. They taught me how to cherish everything you have, because not everything is there for a long time. And I can honestly say I'm grateful for the staff, for all their hard work, and for the members who also made it easier for me to go there. And with them, I can honestly say that they will forever be in my heart. Thank you.
Thank you. Monique, I'd like to just say thank you for making the drive all the way to Carpinteria and giving us the honor to get to know you, and congratulations on this award.
Could I say something also, please?
Of course.
she was a standout. Of all of the ones that participated in this one, she was by far the quote winner. She did an outstanding job for that one. I would also like to commend Michael Baker for changing lives of these youth. He's done an outstanding job, and I'd like to thank you for that. You're changing communities.
Next speaker is Bob Franco, followed by Carol Kernahan.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Bob Franco, and I'm a director of the Sandpiper Mobile Home Park Homeowners Association, and there's some issues that are happening at our mobile home park that you should be made aware of. Most of the problems can be attributed to poor management and to an overworked and understaffed California Department of Housing and Community Development, or HCD. There are over 5,200 mobile home parks in California, and most are overseen by HCD. But because HCD is so understaffed, it is almost impossible for them to provide the services required of so many mobile home parks. So here are some very current and real examples of what is occurring in our park at this moment, and a possible solution to these concerns. On March 22, 2023, a tornado ripped through our mobile home park. A woman's home was almost destroyed, and she's still dealing with the after effects of the damage and has been threatened with eviction because she was unable to get the required permits to make the necessary repair in a timely manner. Another woman went through almost 2 months to have her hot water heater replaced, again, because of the permitting process. And this is a health and safety issue. Another family waited over a month to receive permission to install a water softener. All of this and more has recently occurred in just our park. Just imagine what is going on in 5,200 more. And all of this can easily be avoided if cities were granted the authorization to approve these kinds of repairs and installations in mobile home parks within their cities. It is my hope to start legislation giving cities authority to issue these kinds of permits to mobile home parks, very much like the privileges that you enjoy and take for granted. I have been in discussions with City Manager Michael Ramirez and State Senator Monique Limon's office regarding these concerns, and it was suggested that I bring it up before the council for your consideration. I hope you agree with me. This is a terrible way to live and just plain wrong. Why can't we enjoy the same rights and privileges of everyone else? I think it's time for us to speak up, and we are asking for your help. Thank you.
Carol Kernahan.
Hello, everybody, especially Mayor Alarcon and District 1, Monica Solorzano. Anyway, Monica's been really helpful to Carpinteria Indivisible, which is the organization that I represent. And I wanted to read you a little bit of our mission statement. We first got together the week after the election in November, and Becky Norton, who's my co-facilitator, and I wanted to know what we could do. We wanted to move forward in a positive direction. So our first thought was to become a sanctuary city, and it turns out that that's more a label of being friendly, I think, to immigrants than anything that's really legal or binding on any of the law enforcement in the community. So instead, we've been working with other groups in Santa Barbara County to improve the immigrant rights or to see that they're honored in Carpinteria and elsewhere. And the most, okay, one more thing, I'm gonna back up. So we had our first meeting in January, there were 6 of us, and then our second meeting was in October, and we had 40 people. Between that, we had the Seal the Sea March. I don't know how many of you happened to see that, but it was really fantastic, and it was really uplifting, and it brought a bunch of like-minded people together, and it was very uplifting and very encouraging. So, okay, so here is a little bit of our mission statement. All right. Okay. In response to pressing social and political issues, our group has been actively organizing and taking action since January 1st, including the Seal the Sea March, the Not My President's Day protest, advocacy for immigrant rights, support for operators and responders for the Rapid Response Network, 805 and DocuFund, and Letters to the Editor campaigns. We are excited to announce that this collective effort is now named Carpinteria Indivisible. Moving forward, we will continue our mission of civic engagement and grassroots activism. Our monthly meetings are on the first Tuesday of every month from 5:30 to 6:30 in the Rancho Granada Clubhouse. I wanted to hand out to the City Council members one of the many great publications that 805 and DocuFund has done, and you might have seen these posted up around town, on how we can help immigrants in our community. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your comments. Next, we have Rogelio Delgado.
Thank you. Rogelio Delgado, Carpinteria resident. I want to talk about property tax because I haven't, how to save money basically for yourself and your children, grandchildren. Haven't heard anything about how to save money for your children. Not in city council, not at the board meeting, the school board meetings. 2 weeks ago, school board brought tax assessor. The idea was good. The problem is that they couldn't answer questions. And why was that? They require a bachelor's degree on real estate, finance, or economics. This is the PhD on real estate, accessible only to real estate brokers, nobody else. This is it. Anyone that you talked about today, it's right here. Anything that tax assessor couldn't answer is right here. This is the Bible of real estate. How to save money for your children or grandchildren. Proposition 19, the amendment. What is that? That's not to save money. That's Proposition 19, the amendment was passed to take away money from your children or grandchildren. That's not fair to your children. What can you do? Do not transfer your property to your children or grandchildren. Instead, file a revocable living trust. That way, they'll pay no property tax and they can sell. If it goes up $1 million, they can keep the $1 million. Do it for your children, and I hope that sometime you make a presentation on property tax, how to save money for yourself and for your children. Thank you.
Any other public comment from the audience? Seeing none. Anything on Zoom, Brian?
Mayor, we have no raised hands.
Okay, seeing none, I'll go ahead and bring it back to the council if there's any questions.
I'd like to find out more about the issue that Bob Franco brought up about the permitting of repairs on the local level.
I would agree.
Mayor Alarcon, council members, we're happy to bring back some additional items, some additional information on that. Maybe at the next meeting, we can include it in the city manager's report and update.
Excellent. Great. Okay, thank you. We'll now move on to the next item on our agenda, which is the consent calendar.
I'll move to approve the minutes of the special meeting held February 3rd, 2025, the regular meeting held February 10th, 2025, the special meeting held February 14th, 2025, and the special joint meeting held February 18th, 2025, to receive and file the expenditures for the period beginning February 3rd, 2025 and ending February 14th, 2025, to receive and file the report of contracts executed by the city manager for the period of January 7th, 2025 through February 3rd, 2025, and to receive and file the monthly city treasurer's report on compliance with statement of safekeeping and investment of public funds for January 2025.
Second.
Excellent. We have a first and a second. Before we take a voice vote, I'll go ahead and just open up public comment. I don't have any speaker slips. Do we have anyone on Zoom, Brian?
Mayor, I think I did turn in one for item 4, I think.
Yes, you are correct. Thank you. So I'll go ahead and ask for Peter Bonning to step up and speak on this item.
I wanted to talk about the skate park light thing. I
Okay.
put the wrong number on there.
Yes, but that's okay.
First meeting,
All right.
I've never been one. Which one was the skate park?
You been here.
It is item number 10.
Yep.
Oh, it's 10.
10. Okay. Thank you. So we'll go ahead and close public comment. We have a first and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Okay. We'll go ahead and move on to administrative matters, which is item number 8, adoption of resolution number 6367, approving an appointment to the Downtown T Business Advisory Board.
So, good evening, Mayor and council members. Earlier this month, the council made the biennial appointments to the City Council advisory groups, including the Downtown T Business Advisory Board. After that council meeting, the city received an application from one business owner within the Parking and Business Improvement Area Assessment District number 4 to serve on the Downtown T Business Advisory Board. There's currently one vacancy for an assessment paying member. The sole applicant, Kevin Murphy, who I believe is, oh, he must have left, but he was in attendance here. He qualifies as an assessment paying member, and he previously served as an alternate assessment paying member on the Downtown T Business Advisory Board through January 31st of this year. So tonight's recommendation is to adopt resolution number 6367, making an appointment of Kevin Murphy to the Downtown T Business Advisory Board as an assessment paying member. And Mayor, that concludes my report.
Thank you. I'll go ahead and bring it back to the council. Any questions? Okay, I'll go ahead and open up public comment. Seeing none, anything on Zoom, Brian?
There is none, Mayor.
Okay, and I will go ahead and bring it back to the council for a motion.
I'll move to adopt resolution number 6367 as read by title only, approving the appointment of Kevin Murphy as an assessment paying member to the Downtown T Business Advisory Board.
Second.
Okay, we have a first and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great, thank you. We will now move on to item number 9, which is appoint a city representative to the Community Media Access Center Board of Directors.
Once again, Mayor, earlier this month, the council made the biennial appointments to the City Council advisory groups, including public member appointments to other agencies. After that council meeting, the city received one application from a member of the public to serve as the city's representative on the TV Santa Barbara Board of Directors. The sole applicant, Gary Dobbins, who is present, has served as the city's representative for many years and wishes to continue to serve for another 2-year term ending January 31st of 2027. And tonight's recommendation is to make that appointment.
Excellent, thank you. I'll go ahead and bring it back to the council. Any questions? Okay, seeing none, I'll go ahead and open up public comments. Anything on Zoom, Brian?
Mayor, we have no raised hands.
Okay, I know we have Gary Dobbins here. Would you like to share a few words or say anything?
I'll bring up some stuff, I guess.
Okay.
It's been a long time. Actually, Mayor, Council, it's been rewarding serving as the City of Carpinteria's media representative for over 30 years. I started with the Cox franchise agreement, worked through there to bring about TV Santa Barbara, which was eventually the bylaws to separate from Cox Communication. I've produced a lot of shows for Carpinteria over the years. And right now, I wanted you to realize how important this position has been to enhance our viewing on our equipment and the things that we can do with the city from TV Santa Barbara. Our new director, Eric David, is an amazing individual. We just had a big fundraiser that Monica attended with Rick Steves, sold out at the Arlington. And he's enhanced and empowered us now to do more in the community. I'll be meeting with Michael. By the way, Michael, you're number 6. I've worked with 5 city managers over the term. So you're lucky number 6. I hope that soon we'll be meeting with Michael to discuss further what TV Santa Barbara can do for the community. There's a lot being offered. One of the main objects I've been working on with the board is to get Cox to turn on our HD. We're the only channels that have not got HD yet. So, and Michael kindly put a letter in with the other cities to endorse turning it on. So hopefully these things will come to be. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. I'll go ahead and bring it back to the council for a motion.
I move to appoint a city representative to the Community Media Access Center Board of Directors. And it doesn't have a name, but should I say the name? Gary Dobbins, to be that representative.
Second. Whoops. Ways first.
Yeah,
Okay. We have a first and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Great.
Quick comments?
Yes.
I would like to commend and thank Gary for his position and what he's done for so many years. He's done it for well over 30 years. I believe it's 33 years now that he's been doing it for, and he's gone above and beyond what he does here. A lot of the programming he's done includes shows specific to Carpinteria, including award-winning Carpinteria Living that we have to see again someday, which he helped me set up. But it was very short-lived. I think we had 6 episodes of that and the Rotary show. But he is working directly with a lot of the people there, and TV Santa Barbara has been a pretty good cause for us. They've helped us a lot. So thank you, Gary. Thanks for your work.
Thank you. Okay. Moving on to item number 10, which is adopt resolution number 6368, updating the operational hours of the skate park.
Yes, good evening, Mayor, Council. I have a request this evening that you adopt resolution number 6368, revising and extending the operational hours of the skate park. Some of you may know that due to equipment issues, the skate park has been lit throughout the night since it opened. City staff and others, including the police chief and deputies, have witnessed consistent and positive use of the park during the late night hours. Currently, the resolution in place states that skate park hours are 30 minutes before sunrise until 30 minutes after sunset every day of each week. Extended hours up until 10 p.m. are allowed with city manager approval when posted at the skate park and only when the skate park lights are illuminated. We are proposing the hours be changed for 30 minutes before sunrise until 10 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, and from 30 minutes before sunrise to 11 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. There will also be the option for the city manager or their designee, or they will still retain the authority, to adjust the hours as needed. For example, if we needed to do some maintenance, or if there was special circumstances such as a city-approved special event permit, the city manager or their designee would have the authority by this resolution to make those adjustments as necessary. And that is my very brief presentation. I want to apologize for the error on page 2 where I omitted the word Thursday in that first bullet. I appreciate your guys' understanding. I'm happy to answer questions if you have any.
Questions? Okay, seeing none, I'll go ahead and open up public comment and invite Peter Bonning.
This is the one I signed up for. Peter Bonning, Carpinteria Skate Foundation, Mayor, Council, staff.
As a proponent of the matriarchy in positions of political power, I'd be remiss if I did not take this opportunity to say that the majority that I bear witness to on the city council right now warms my heart and gives me great hope for the future. And I applaud Carpinteria and everybody sitting up there. Guys too, good job everybody. We can do this. As far as the lights go, yeah, I mean, what a great asset for the park and for the community. Last year, in the first 13 months of having the park, Carpinteria Skate Foundation hosted 12, I think, events for the community, free into the community. Live bands, which we had 3 of them just a couple nights ago. DJs, we do roller skate takeover parties. We do all kinds of stuff there. We've hosted fundraisers for other nonprofits. We do not enough fundraisers for our own, but the lights are really a huge asset, and they really make that park what it is for the community and for the surrounding areas. Ventura is getting a brand new skate park built right now, and I don't think it's going to have lights. And that's, you know, in the winter it gets dark at 5:15, and then what are the children going to do when it gets dark? They're going to go to our skate park because the city and the foundation and the community came together and made sure that those lights were a part of it. And so I'm super excited to have the lights go in, all the lights operating properly. Jeanette has been such an asset to my foundation and to the Parks and Rec department. We couldn't be more thrilled to be working with this individual, just a top-notch community servant. And we're super psyched to have him working properly. I get a lot of questions about what time do the lights go off? And I often don't know how to answer it. So now we can be definitive in our answer to the community as they approach our beautiful skate park, which everyone loves so much. And I just couldn't be more proud of our community for coming together and making it happen. So thank you all. Thank you. And I'm going to see you at the next time. Thanks.
Any other individuals would like to say public comment? Okay, seeing none. Anyone on Zoom, Brian?
Mayor, we have no raised hands.
Okay, I'll go ahead and close public comment and bring it back to the council.
I really appreciate. Oh, sorry. Were you going to go first?
Well, I
Go
just
ahead.
wanted to say, you know, I have been where Peter is before I was here, and the testament to the community and the city's unwavering support of the skate park is really why we're at this place where we have, you know, 0 complaints and only positive things that we hear about the skate park. And I just want to say thank you. I am no longer a member of the Skate Foundation board, but I still keep them close in my heart. And it really warms my heart when I leave city council and there's, 30 people utilizing our skate park. So I just wanted to say a little thing.
Well, and I appreciate having the lights on until 11. I've gone to some of the musical performances that Peter referenced, and it is something that's really special to see bands playing while kids and adults are skating. It's a really great thing. And then also, I want to also mention another angle of my appreciation for the skate park and for the lights being consistent is my daughter is participating in the PUSH program, the after school, middle school skate park foundation program, and it is benefiting her tremendously. She went from 0 to 100 in terms of skating, and that's all due to the skate park and then the support that staff have given as well in making sure things like the lights are functioning correctly and that the public knows about the hours that the lights will be on to support all the community usage of the park.
Yes.
I'd also like to bring forward the work that Peter and Julia did. I worked with them when they had the vision of making that park. It was a long process, but what I would like to point out to the public, prior to that, we were having a lot of problems with skateboards throughout the city. We couldn't control those. They were like the electric bikes of today. But when that park went in, it went to 0. There was no problems at all. I would like to request, if that's okay with the council, that actually have Peter come forward, because it's not just a park that they're doing, but it's a full program of bringing these kids together. So Peter, if you wouldn't mind talking to us about some of the other things you're doing, which are amazing in helping out the youth in this community.
Yeah, thanks for asking. So when the park was about to go into construction, the school district approached our organization. I taught in Carp Unified School District. I was a classroom teacher for 15 years. and they Diana Rigby was curious about starting an after-school program targeted at the middle schoolers. And so I wrote the curriculum for the PUSH project, which is, we're now in our third year, coming up on the end of our third year of this program. And Diana and I developed this program over the course of a year. And yeah, it's a visual arts-based curriculum that we offer to middle schoolers 5 days a week. And they work their way through this visual arts-based curriculum at our nonprofit headquarters, and then we split time between there and the skate park. So it's we offer it all free. It's at no cost to the students or their families involved. So any student that signs up for this program gets to do it at no cost. A big part of the mission of our nonprofit, which this is a mission statement that Julia helped develop. It's all about breaking down barriers of entry to opportunities for these middle school age kids, for the whole community, but for those kids specifically. So it's all about eliminating the barriers to entry for these opportunities. So the after school program is adjacent to the school, so the kids don't need to have a ride to get there. They don't pay a penny to join the program. And then we go to the park on foot or on skateboard. So there's no transportation barrier of entry. There's no financial barrier to entry. We supply them with all the equipment they need. If they've never stepped foot on a skateboard and they don't own a helmet, we supply all of that. That's all in our budget. So no barrier to entry, creating opportunities for the kids, pushing them through. There's a social emotional growth component to the program. There's financial literacy. There's academic accountability, because we work closely with the district leadership. And it's really just a comprehensive way of meeting these middle schoolers, which are very challenging, at a place where they kind of need and want to be met. It's hard work, but it's super fulfilling and it's super fun. And this skateboarding and the art are kind of the hook. They get them in the door, and then we can have the hard conversations with them. And you know, it's all about doing fun things that are challenging and then growing a little bit in the process and trying to create some passion. So yeah, that's the gist of it. But yeah, feel very, very lucky to be able to do this in the community that we love so much. And yeah, everything's going really well. So thank you for the support.
Great.
Any
Well,
other
Peter,
questions?
who would have thought you were 4 or 5 years old when I started coaching you at soccer first time, and for you to go this far, congratulations.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the support. It means a lot.
Okay, I'll go ahead and bring it back to the council for a motion.
I move to adopt resolution number 6368 as read by title only.
Second.
We have a first and a second. Voice vote. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Okay, thank you. We'll go ahead and move on to legislative update. I'm seeing none here. That's correct. Okay. Any committee reports, inquiries, and other matters presented by council members?
I had the opportunity to attend the public policy committee put on by the South Coast Chamber of Commerce. It's their quarterly government affairs meeting, and we focused on fire preparedness and a couple fun facts. It was presented by all of the chiefs in our area, including the county fire, CAL FIRE, and our own fire department was there. And the big mantra was that we, as a community need to learn to live with wildfire. A fun thing that they told us was that 3,000 acres of fuel reduction was achieved this year by CAL FIRE and by our county fire, and that 95% of our fires, their goal is to keep 95% of fires at 5 acres or less, and they did achieve that goal this year. Another thing that's happening is this Thursday, the Insurance Commissioner of California will be at the Goleta Community Center at 6 p.m. to take questions about fire and fire insurance and homeowners insurance. So something for our community to know. And we're in talks with our District 1 supervisor to have a town hall in Carpinteria working with our firefighters. So stay tuned.
Awesome. That was my question, my follow-up question to you. Is there anything that we can bring to Carpinteria? But
Yeah,
it sounds like it's
in the
works.
works.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Yeah, MTD had a board meeting earlier this at the end, last week, not this week, and they discussed the Isla Vista mobility plan, and also the second quarter financial update, and then some other updates from the general manager in terms of their attempts to attract and hire more MTD drivers. So.
Yeah, I'll give a report on SBCAG. They announced at SBCAG that the one-on-one project is $137 million short, and it's in this sort of normal stage of, you get a grant for this thing, and then you do it, and then you apply for another grant for the next part, and all of a sudden, they're not sure where the grant money is going to come from this year. So we're gonna have a big meeting next week all day to try to brainstorm on that. So hopefully they'll come up with some money, because Carpinteria is always behind the bottleneck until we get the whole thing done. Always behind the bottleneck.
Well, thank you for the update. Looking forward to hearing the outcome of that meeting. Anyone else? Okay. Seeing none, we'll go ahead and move on to the attendance of council members for future meetings, which I believe is March 4th.
Yes.
Okay. And we'll now move on to the closed session item, which is item 11, closed session conference with legal counsel. Any public comment on closed session matter? Seeing none. Anyone on Zoom, Brian?
Mayor, we have no raised hands.
No? Okay. I'll go ahead and close public comment, and we will now temporarily adjourn for a closed session. to reconvene in open session, and I'll ask for a closed session report.
Great, thank you, Mayor Alarcon, Council. We were in a closed session to discuss anticipated litigation for one case, and there's no reportable action out of tonight's closed session meeting.
Great, thank you. Okay, any questions on behalf of council? Nope, seeing none. Do we have to do public comment on this? Nope, okay. So we'll go ahead and adjourn the meeting at 7:59 p.m. Thank you.